areas. Now, you have to wonder why they're not doing more at the moment. But everybody knows, basically, that wherever you live in this country, no matter what part of the nation you're in, there are sort of small groups of very feral youths running riot, cycling around, doing wheelies, robbing people. You know my story about getting my phone robbed just the other week. And, you know, antisocial behaviour is a blight on anybody's life, no matter how small you think the offence is. People chucking eggs at your house, people, you know, knocking plant pots off the side of gardens and smashing them in the street, people sort of keying cars and that kind of thing. Harry, very good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Mike. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thanks very much for joining us. I mean, this is a massive problem. I mean, it's the old, they call it the Giuliani effect, don't they? When Rudolph Giuliani used to have this view in New York, if you don't fix the broken window in a street, you certainly then lead to sort of further crimes being committed. But if you do fix it, somehow people learn to respect their area better, they learn to behave themselves, they learn to treat each other better.
That's right. And if you catch it early, that's what it's all about, isn't it? So it's all about the schools, straight from the schools. It's parenting. So it is a societal problem. It's not just with the police. If you can imagine, this is an age-old problem that's probably gone back centuries as well. But it's really fallen by the wayside a bit, I think, since the austerity, since the 20,000 cots. We're only just about, we're lost, you know, with austerity and cuts. We're just about getting that back. But the problem we have now, we've lost the experience, and we've got inexperienced police officers with great intentions doing their best, and overloaded with paperwork, and haven't got so much time perhaps to do that preventative, to do that neighbourhood policing. We need back. We're getting back slowly, but again, you need experience. You need to get to know your patch. You shouldn't get moved on from patch to job, you know, in there for 5 minutes for a bit of a promotion move. You need those solid individuals that gain respect with the community. And so you get things from, like, just restorative justice, which means, right, I've caught your lad doing this. He needs to write a letter to the shopkeeper to say he's going to go round with his mates and he's going to wash the paint off. That old-fashioned stuff. So get in there early, just like you said, as in New York. And then you've got a whole hub of stuff afterwards, which community protection notices that the police can take out to stop individuals, or even organisations from doing what they're doing and take action against, like, nightclubs and things to prevent disturbances around them. Public spaces orders the local councils can use against dogs and regulating dog mess and drinking in areas. You've got dispersal orders we use quite often just after the nightclubs. They'll come out the pubs. It's right, no, you're drunk, you're hanging around, you got to go. If you're not gone in 2 minutes out of this area, you're going to get arrested. And that worked. That was real good impetus. You've got criminal behaviour orders, you've got fixed penalty notices, but these have all got to be dealt with, and you've got to have officers on the street to give them, haven't you? And so, but just to emphasise how serious this can get, you've got to remember Fiona Palin, where she was so harassed by the antisocial behaviour in her area with her and a disabled daughter. She put herself in the car, put petrol in the back seat and set themselves both alight, and realised that they'd slipped through the system. And so things have really got to... Yes, the inspectorate says forces have got to pull together, share information. Best practice was great. So the odd conference is really good. So you're meeting people to say, what do you do? This is what we do. This is really effective. This is old-fashioned. This doesn't work anymore. And really get that best practice. Because you've got 43 forces with pretty much very separate intel systems, really, apart from... the PNC, Police National Computer, but the intel stuff can be very separate. Right. And so this information has got to be shared as well. But you know how good organisations such as the police and the NHS are with improving their technical data. It costs a lot of money and sometimes is quite often a failure. That's the problem we have.
Yeah. And is it simply a numbers game? I mean, you talked about the 20,000 police that sort of disappeared, and then we got some back and some more have left, and it's a bit difficult maybe to keep them in lots of different areas. Is it just about the numbers of police that you can kind of, you know, put out there in the street?
Well, ultimately, yeah, you've got to be efficient. So you've got to make sure that police are doing the right job. And it's all a bit of a joke within the police. Everything's a priority. So what's the most priority of the priority that we're dealing with? But in order to be able to deal with antisocial behaviour, you've got to get it early. Yeah. You've got to get it with a kid that is littering, that is shouting at neighbours without a care in the world, that has no social responsibility. Yeah. And unfortunately, that's slipped because teachers, for example, they've got no power. Who would be a teacher nowadays? I used to always say, well, at least I could lock them up. What can teachers do? And that's where you've got this antisocial behaviour starts from the start. So why do you... It starts right from the beginning, in early life. You know, my brother is a